Welcome to a special edition of the BumbleKast. I'm your host, Ian Flynn, the Bumble King, and joining me as always is the stone to my Robotnik, Kyle, JCRB Krause.
It is time, finally. We have finally witnessed it. We have observed the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, and I deem it honorable.
It's been a while since we've done one of these types of episodes, so just to review, we're going to give you the non-spoiler take first, and
Yes.
then we will give you ample warning before we go into the spoiler territory.
Yes.
And then because apparently we can't avoid it on the show anymore, there will actually be a few Q&A questions at the end.
This is our thing, Ian. We cannot avoid the Q&A. We have to do some Q&A at the end. This is
specific.
This is like
that's why we're doing them.
Yes, these questions are about the movie specifically. So from our priority patrons. So throwing them in here because I figured, we'll just cover it all at once. We'll get it all done. So sounds good to me. This is like a classic BumbleKast, really, because we're gonna talk about not questions for a while. That's rare. It hasn't happened in a long time.
And speaking classical, there's a whole bunch of classic stuff in Sonic.
Yeah,
but that's getting very spoilery, I suppose.
It's getting close, but there's definitely some interesting
Tails and Knuckles
thoughts.
are going to be in it, for pity's sake.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously.
And if you watched any of the trailers, you got spoiled for like 80% of the movie, so.
Honestly? Yeah, sorta, in a way. Big spoiler alert right now. Sonic is in it, and he goes fast. That's not the real spoiler, by the way. Don't freak out.
What did you think of it? What was your takeaway? Aside from it being honorable.
I enjoyed it, It's a fun little movie. I don't really have a lot to say. I do find it interesting the way they've worked in various parts of Sonic lore from previous games. They weren't just going classic.
Mm-hmm.
There was definitely some bits from more modern games. That was definitely an interesting addition. Some stuff that was a bit more recent than I was kind of expecting them to go. It's I don't know. it's just a fun movie. I don't know. I liked it. What did you think?
I thought it was on par with the first one.
Yeah.
No better, no worse.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely more of a Sonic movie.
Right, yes,
this
definitely.
Time around. But I feel like it was less, I don't want to say less cohesive, because it did get from point A to point B logically enough.
Right.
But it felt a little disjointed in parts.
It floundered a little bit, I felt.
There were lots of strong individual scenes, but the connections between them were kind of tenuous here and there.
It was, there were definitely a few scenes where it was like, where is this going? Why is this even here? Eventually it gets to something interesting, but it was, I don't know. The pacing was off.
Yeah.
Which is weird. It seems like they did some things out of order. I don't know if it was the editing or whatnot, but there was just something weird.
It might have just been they had too much and they had to cut down, and sometimes you got to cut stuff and it don't quite fit where you cut. But overall, it's not like it was unwatchable at all.
No, not at all. No,
it
was enjoyable.
There was a very particular bait and switch that I thought they set up very, very well, so that when I realized what was happening, I was like, that's clever.
Yes,
that's funny. I like that. And then one reveal I legit did not see coming at all, and I was like, okay, that's a fun surprise, and it all fits together. Yeah, I like it. I dig it. It's cool. But
Yep.
Ultimately, what I went for was Idris Elba Knuckles.
And they delivered.
Oh, did they deliver?
Oh man. I am legit into that portrayal of Knuckles. It's like, that is delightful.
I mean,
it was definitely like a weird casting at first when they announced it, but definitely, especially after seeing the movie, I'm on board.
the extremes to which he goes is a little odd to me, but it's done so consistently and with such conviction. It's like, okay, that's just this version of the character.
Yeah.
And they managed to get some some hearty chuckles out of me
Mm-hmm.
on some of the stuff while not making him a complete idiot. He's just very much out of his element, and it leads to some fun stuff.
Right. He's very, very, this world is very confusing and new to him, and it's weird, but, he's acclimating.
And we'll get into this more later, but
Yeah.
I felt like, just like in the first film, the human element was well utilized.
Yeah, for the most part. It feels like it kind of bogs down the movie a little bit at some points, though. Like they got a little too. They may have. I don't know. Like it takes a while for the payoff. I think is what I'm mainly thinking of for the arc involving the humans.
Yeah, I liked it well enough. I thought it did just enough to follow up what was set in the first movie, because it was very heavy in the first movie.
Yeah.
It did just enough to kind of follow up on all that, take it in a fun new direction that served the greater Sonic story, and then was done.
Yeah, at least they didn't like overshadow Sonic in his own movie.
Yeah, they served their purpose, and what was there was fun, and then once they were done, they were gone.
Mm-hmm.
And that's cool by me.
Yeah. And it definitely sets up more. They're definitely fleshing out more of this world with some of the reveals during those scenes. So should be interesting going forward. So, but I mean, it's hard to dance around this, you know.
Yeah, I know. So, I mean, that's our initial take. It was fun. If you liked the first one, see this one for sure.
Yep.
And if you thought the first one didn't have enough Sonic, well, you got a lot more Sonic this time around.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, you did. And you got Tails, and you got plenty of Knuckles, which is very, very good. Knuckles. That was one thing I was wondering, is like, how much is Knuckles actually going to be in this movie? He's getting marketed up, down, left, right, everywhere. But is he going to only be in the movie for like, I don't know, 5 minutes? No. No. If you're a Knuckles fan, this is some good eating right here.
Oh, yeah. Almost co-star in terms of screen time. Just, excellent. Marvelous.
Yeah.
Immaculate.
We got the Team Sonic, and they're all there, man. It's great. So, yeah, it's fun.
So, that's it for our non-spoiler review. We're going to go full spoilers now. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, if you're slower than we are, which is understandable because COVID is still a thing,
yes,
then don't spoil yourself. And by God, avoid all the trailers.
If you've managed to not be spoiled by it so far in any fashion, I applaud you, because that's amazing. Like, how are you even listening? Why and how are you even listening to this without getting spoiled? So I don't know. Anyway. Yes. Are we jumping into the spoiler zone?
Yes, we are.
All right. The spoiler alert is going off. We got spoiler sign. So yeah, if you don't want spoilers, then don't go, or don't go further. Don't listen any further. Okay, so, go.
The surprise that I really like how they executed and set it up was the whole gun reveal.
Yeah. Yep.
Because number one, you have Shamar Moore as Randall. And if you've seen Criminal Minds at all, you're like, oh, hey, it's the guy from the cop show. The hot one. All right. That's kind of fun that he's in this. And then during the volleyball game, all of his crew are like ripped and, beautiful men and super on top of things. And it's like, okay, that's kind of funny that he's clearly better than Tom and his groomsmen in all ways. And then the reveal that it's all been a sting operation by Gunn this whole time.
Yeah.
Because why are they entrusting the care of a superhuman alien entity to two people in the middle of Montana. No. We're going to keep tabs on this. And here we are jumping on it because it's getting out of control. It's all of that was just great. I legit didn't see that coming.
Right.
I knew Gunn was going to be in it. That got spoiled a long time ago. But that twist caught me off guard. I'm like, that felt clever. I liked that. And then Rachel's reaction to all that. She turns to the priest, even you? And he just kind of opens up the Bible and there's the gun and he's sad about it.
That was funny. Yeah, that was well done.
All of that was great. And
yeah, I was not quite, I don't know where they were going to go with Gunn. There was some spoilers early on for sure that the gun was going to be integrated, but I wasn't sure how or where or if they were, or if it was just like going to be some kind of slight nod, slight reference. But no, they actually went for it.
Yep. So I like that a lot. I liked the bit where, Tom is just messing around with the wedding rings. And you're just thinking, he's being a dork. All right, that's kind of cute. And then he tries to throw the ring to get Sonic out of the avalanche, and it doesn't go.
And it's the wrong ring.
And you get the connection like, that was nicely set up.
That was smart. That was smart. That was smart. That was smart.
I liked that a lot.
Yep.
A little sad that Tails kind of got written out of the movie during most of Act 2.
Yeah, Tails. I feel bad for him. I feel bad for that. I feel bad for him. It was great to see him, and I'm glad he played the part that he did, and it was really heartwarming to see his friendship with Sonic grow.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, he kind of got a little sidelined for it a little bit.
Yeah.
But he did get some good jabs in on Sonic,
Yeah, he had some good lines. He definitely served a purpose.
He had some good jokes, He definitely he was like obviously very starstruck at first, and then kind of went with the old snark a little bit later on, like Tails does. I know some people didn't like that, I guess, where he was getting snarky and argumentative in Lost World or whatever with Sonic.
How dare he have a personality?
I'm like, what? Come on. He doesn't have to blindly adore the guy entirely.
That, and if Sonic basically raised him, Sonic himself is a snarker, you don't think Tails is going to take some of that?
Yeah. That's games anyway. This is different.
Yeah.
Which is, now I'm more interested in sort of what these worlds are for them. Mm-hmm. Where are they from? Because it seems to be implied that all three of them, Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, are from different planets, from different worlds. They're not all together on one or something.
It's weird.
It's very strange. It's like, how many worlds? How many worlds are there this time?
Well, I mean, I'm assuming Sonic and Knuckles were from the same planet because Knuckles' tribe went to attack Longclaw specifically.
Okay, yeah. Okay, you're right.
So unless they were using warp ring technology, and I don't think they were, but okay.
Somebody was. That's but then how does Knuckles get to the mushroom planet that Eggman's on?
Yeah.
And is that mushroom planet a planet? Or is it just part of a single island? We don't know exactly. I guess there's I guess the map showed a bunch of different worlds, as it were, and the mushroom planet was one of them. So,
I'd have to go back and actually see it. But,
and now I'm looking at a picture of it right now, and I see that one of them is the Sega Saturn logo. Nice! I didn't even catch that. Amazing! I did not catch that. That's very cool. Wow.
All right. So, Knuckles' tribe, it looks like all that's left of its warriors, go off to hunt down Longclaw, and it's been established now to get the Master Emerald, not go after Sonic.
Right. Yep.
Longclaw is by herself. And Knuckles is like, I'm the last of my kind. So did Longclaw frickin' murk an entire echidna army?
You know,
wow, she was already shot down. She was bleeding.
You know what?
And she still took him out? What?
Wow.
Damn, mama!
She is apparently incredible.
Forget Guardian of the Master Emerald. She's the Guardian of the Gahul.
Yeah, I guess. This is definitely something wild on there.
I dig that they leaned really hard into the owls as a thing. You know, what very little was established beforehand. They took that and ran with it. That was kind of neat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The idea that the emeralds were contained within the Master Emerald is a funky idea.
I have wondered that. That's not typical. That's not typically how it's been portrayed. But
like, does it, now that the emeralds are gone? Question mark. Does the Master Emerald have any power? Like, what is the reason Knuckles have? Does he have it because that's his duty, or like, does it do anything now?
Yeah. I mean, I have them. I have all this. I have the 7 emeralds.
Oh Lord, here comes Super Kyle.
Chaos control.
Since you said it, there you go, Shadow.
Yeah, that's the big reveal at the end.
Yeah,
which I wish I could say surprised me. I was not spoiled on it, but I still wasn't really all that surprised, especially since Gun was a thing. Mm-hmm. I was like, I knew it's probably going to be Shadow. Like, so many people were like, I know there's a lot of talk about people who were really excited and hoping it was Metal Sonic, but I'm like, nah. If they're going with Gun, it's probably going to be Shadow. So
I wondered if we might have gotten him in this movie just because the last one ended on the stinger that Robotnik had the quill power.
Yeah.
And he was clearly going more Eggman-y by the end. I thought, okay, maybe by the third act, he'll use that quill as a power source to make a Metal Sonic.
Yeah.
But instead we got straight up Super Eggman. And
the
biggest, most intimidating version of Death Egg Robot. Even being goofy.
Oh yeah. That is a massive Death Egg robot. Incredible. I loved it. It was pointed out to me that the scene where Sonic is struggling to get out from underneath the foot of the robot, though, is very similar to some pages from Archie, some panels from Archie from your run. Very similar. Yeah. It's like, could it just be a coincidence? Probably, maybe, but I don't know. It's fun. It's fun.
That scene played, and Leah goes, "Oh, that's straight out of, I forget which issue it was." She said, and I'm like, "What was it?"
Yeah.
She goes, "You wrote it," and I said, "Yeah, well, it's been a while." I'm kind of inclined to think it might have been an intentional nod, because when he's just straight up shattering the arms,
right? Yeah,
Supersonic, that's got to be a Sonic X reference. That's the E99 fight.
There's definitely references in there that are like deep cuts. Somebody read the comics.
I mean, if it is coincidence, that makes sense too. I mean, it's a pretty easy scene to come up with and set up. If it is an intentional nod, that's super cool. That's nifty.
Yep. I'm also receiving word that there's quite a few Fleetway references. I'm not familiar enough with Fleetway to say for sure or not, but that is that's very interesting. I guess. Oh, Super Eggman is a big one. Yeah.
I don't remember Super Eggman, but then again, I read Fleetway all the way through once, so I retain very little.
Yeah. It's been a little while for me.
I really want to go back and see Stone's various costume ideas for Eggman, because I'm pretty sure Classic is in there.
Yes, I did see that. I noticed like one of his costume ideas is Classic Eggman. Yep.
And one of them looks very, very Mega Mind.
And one of them was a French maid. Yes.
I did not catch that one.
Yep. I saw
Of course,
that.
they were not hiding Stone at all in this one. His egg glove was on his sleeve.
Oh man. Yep.
All to see. And you know what? More power to. I freaking adore how the fandom has just embraced Stone.
He's delightful. Like, I'm just so glad
Like
that he has become such a
Sonic style Stone
part.
sprites that people are doing. There was an Adventures of styled Stone, and the actor Lee Majdoub,
I believe, yeah, Majdoub, yeah.
He's in on it too. Like, he's loving it.
Yep.
It's one big celebration. And that's why I love Sonic stuff, is that when you can get into the spirit of it, it's just this nonstop party. It's just, everyone's having fun with it, and it's great.
Yeah. I also like his undying admiration of Eggman. It's a different take on sort of on a character that's like obsessed with Eggman, but not like trying to change him or fix him or anything. You know, he's a bit different from Starline in that way. You know, they have similar characters, but they're like their basic ideas and their motivations are totally different.
Like, if Stone questions something that Eggman does, he's interpreting it as, how am I misunderstanding?
Yes, exactly.
And that's just neat.
Yep, it's fun. It's a very fun dynamic they have. And I love that he specifically set up a coffee shop just to serve as a secret base because he knew Robotnik was going to come back. So, yep.
I wasn't as happy with Jim's Eggman as I was in the first film. When he first shows up at the house, that was awesome. Like, he was actually intimidating, but still a little goofy and just reveling in the moment.
He went more, I feel like he went more boom Eggman this time.
He was a little more Jim Carrey this time.
Yeah.
But he still had, some of the Eggman stuff.
But it was still it was still a super fun portrayal and a very fun character. And he definitely just felt more like just cartoonish, oddball,
and
not
part of it
off-ball.
too is how they cut the scenes.
Yeah.
Like, there were a couple scenes where it's like, okay, you didn't need for that whole bit. You could have cut that and it would have been snappier. So that's not entirely on him.
Yeah.
I did really like that when he goes super, and that's what I'm calling it, because
that's what it is. Like, he's the only non-male hedgehog in the franchise to go super. And SEGA, what are you going to do? Fix that.
It's not gold colored. It's Master Emerald powered, so Master Eggman, whatever.
Yeah. Doesn't matter. Super Jim Botnick.
Yeah. I really liked how it took him a few minutes to get accustomed to the power.
It took him a while to kind of acclimate to it. And he
shows up to Mean Bean, and he's still not quite all there. And then when he loses the power, there's a very stark contrast to when he was powered up. And I liked that distinction.
Yep. He's basically got the Infinity Stones. So I like how he uses what basically amounts to the Infinity Stones just to build a giant robot version of himself. I mean, that's not any different from usual for him, I suppose, but I don't know, man. It's wild.
And Knuckles. And
Knuckles. Always with the Knuckles.
Like, they get to the part where he palms the spin dash, and I'm like, yep, I knew that was coming.
We knew it was going to happen, but yeah.
That was price of admission. I'm good.
Yep.
But then when Tails picks up Sonic and they go driving off, and Knuckles starts to chase him, like, wait, and he actually takes off at top speed. I'm like, they remembered he's fast.
Yep.
He's not just strong. They remembered that he's freaking fast.
Yep. And he, you know what? His movement reminded me actually a lot of Hulk. Like, it seems like they took a lot of Hulk inspiration for the way that Knuckles moves, which I think is pretty cool, He's supposed to be super strong, so it makes sense that he would be, like, being able to freaking just leap super long distances like Hulk does, and jumping and flying around like he does. Yeah, it's
and
good.
They could have very easily just made him Sonic 2.0 in terms of how their powers were represented, but they didn't. They kept him, he's fast, but it isn't the same kind of speed representation. He's strong in how he punches and delivers that power, whereas Sonic is much more agile. He's zipping, he's bouncing, he's spin dashing.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, that's the good stuff.
That
That's
is
what I came here for.
Yep. He glides a bit. I guess more jumping than gliding, but
yeah,
it's not quite not quite on par.
I don't know if it would have translated visually as well with this style if he was like classic gliding,
Yeah, it would have been kind of neat though. It's like there's the point where they're fighting each other down in, I guess I'm just gonna call it Labyrinth Zone. That's pretty much what it is. That's what it is. When they're at the Master Emerald pedestal. There was the one point where they're like jumping at each other. It seems like they could have gone with more of a two arms straight out sort of thing as more of a reference to that. But it's a small thing. It doesn't have to be. Yeah. It doesn't have to be perfect. But I'm just thinking of like points where they could have done that.
For me, the only place where it really started to drag was in Siberia.
Yeah.
Where it really felt like they were trying to recreate the diner bit with him and Tom.
Yeah.
And that was a cute scene in the first movie. And I understand why you would want to try to use that mechanic to kind of echo the bond, because that's where Tom and Sonic kind of first started to sync. And that's where Sonic and Tails first really start to sync.
Yep.
But it just didn't, for me, it didn't move along fast enough.
Yeah. Yeah, it just was. It definitely dragged a little bit there. I was like, all right, this is entertaining, but it's long. It's too long.
Yeah.
It was too long. And it wasn't really like useful other than a little bit of Sonic and Tails bonding a bit that happened in that.
Yeah. I feel like we could have had their heart to heart through any other circumstances.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we didn't need it to be there. The point where they fall asleep in front of the fire, though, that was adorable.
Yeah, we went to a drive-through with a couple of friends.
Yep.
To minimize contact and such.
Yep.
And
me too. That's how I saw it.
When it cuts over to Tails to sleep in front of the fire, everyone in the car just goes, "Oh!" And then the blankets put on, "Oh!" And then the tails pop out and cover Sonic.
Yep.
Oh!
It's like, oh no, oh no, my dark heart. No, how dare they? How dare you make me feel things, movie? Rude.
I really wish that, at least on our end, we could take his version of the Miles Electric, because the standard modern one, you could beat someone to death with that thing. It is super clunky. Like, I wish we could have the small handheld version. That's way more practical.
Here's a big thing, though, that kind of got my goat, Ian. Where's the Sonic music? And
yeah,
what's going on? Like, where's the sound effects? They have that whole animated sequence at the end and the end credits. It's glorious. Yeah. It looks great. It looks fantastic. But why are all the sound effects like generic 8-bit video game sound effects and not the actual sound effects from the video game that the movie is based on? It's a small thing, but it's definitely one of those annoyances where I'm like, did you think you could do better than those sounds or something? Like, is it that just what it is? I don't understand. And
like, I can't imagine SEGA wouldn't license those sounds out,
Yeah, but also not going with like any of the music at all. Like, nothing from either newer games or older ones. Like, I know you don't want the music to necessarily overshadow everything else going on with the movie, but the only song reference was Green Hill, and that was using the original version of it as a ringtone.
Yeah.
It's not even like the first movie where they at least had, that nice Jean-Baptiste piano version playing at the end of Green Hill. It's just,
Yeah.
So apparently the drowning music was in there. I didn't notice it, but I wasn't I don't know. It was probably buried. Yeah.
I didn't hear it. I did appreciate that when Sonic was revving up, it did sound kind of like the Spin Dash.
Yeah, but it was not quite right. And even like
it was the movie version.
I know, but even the ring sound effects don't sound right entirely. Like you can hear the ring sound effect, the standard normal ring sound effect, but it's kind of buried underneath some other sounds too. It's not. I don't know. I get that they maybe not wanted to be so overt with it. They wanted to have some subtlety, but at the same time, this is a franchise known for its soundtrack.
Yeah.
So it seems like they could have built up that aspect a little bit more.
I'm more forgiving of the sound effects being altered to sound like they fit this version more.
Yeah.
Because it is a different interpretation. It's a different incarnation in the world. The way Sonic charges up the Spin Dash in this universe has a very different power to it than the one in the games.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's been differences of the way the Spin Dash sounds and between.
The lack of music is
for years
disappointing.
But yeah, it's like no Death Egg robot theme for the Death Egg robot. Like you could have had this big bombastic score version of it, film score version of it. And you didn't do it. How could you not do that?
Yeah. Oh, well.
I was disappointed. But at the same time, I did appreciate that the locations were reminiscent of various places that have been shown in the games. Like Labyrinth Zone for the Master Emerald location. Which is strange, because, that's not normally where it is. But, different incarnations of the franchise, different things, so it's fine. Also weird, no floating island. No Angel Island. Nothing.
Yeah, but it wasn't necessary.
It wasn't necessary, but it just seems like something's missing without it.
It is weird, but I also like it because it means Knuckles isn't tied down to it. Like, I knew some stuff coming in beyond what the trailers were showing. So I knew the Master Emerald was involved. I knew Knuckles was going to get it. But I didn't know how it would all shake out. And I was really afraid that he was going to get the Master Emerald and take it back to Angel Island. And, here we are in this new continuity and this new take on everything. And it would just go right back to the same problem modern Knuckles has.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I'm glad it didn't go for that, but I was still kind of like, I was interested if the island actually was going to be a part of it.
Like when the water pulls away and there's the underwater ruins, Aaliyah was going, "Oh, here comes Angel Island." I'm like, "Yeah, okay."
That's kind of what I thought it was going to be too.
It'll rise out of the ocean, but
nope,
it got blowed up. So.
Yeah, if that was Angel Island, it's not anymore.
But since they're playing fast and loose with like worlds and islands and stuff, it may show up as part of the multiverse. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. It'll be interesting.
Maybe that'll be the focal of the Knuckles TV series.
What I do find kind of weird too, though, now is that they're all like technically guardians of the Master Emerald, all three of them.
Yeah.
Technically.
Yeah.
It's like, okay,
and,
well.
Sonic yeeted the emeralds off somewhere, so where are the Chaos Emeralds now?
Who knows?
Where did they go?
On that map, again, I'm being able to look at it much closer now. One of the worlds shown is a checkerboard globe, much like the special stages from Sonic 3. So, maybe they went there.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm into it though. Also, we didn't talk about Supersonic. What'd you think? Well, we did mention a little bit, but yeah.
He didn't overstay his welcome. It was the end scenario thing.
It was the climax of the movie, pretty much, like right there.
Yeah, it was,
and that was good. As
his power enriched by the heart.
As a lifelong Sonic fan, it was kind of obvious where they were going. I knew it was coming. But it was still good to see. It was still really cool to see. So, but I was like, oh yeah, they're going to make him go super, obviously. I mean, yeah, it's what he does. Even this version of it. Well, I think we've said enough, right? We've gotten enough mileage out of this one. I think we're good. You want to get through some questions real quick?
Yeah, I think we've said all that can really be said. I mean, the discourse has already been had.
Yeah, we're a little late, but
we're not adding anything new.
We people wanted to hear our opinions on it, so here you are. So interesting what they were going to possibly do with Shadow in the future. We'll see how that works out. So live and learn. That's all I can say, I guess. Anyway, yes, I'd also like to see Amy come in to the next movie. It's like we got the 3. Where's the 4th? Here's the 4th. Need the 4th. Let's go ahead and jump into a couple questions that folks have had that we've gotten for the last few weeks, actually. Thank you guys for your patience, for letting us see the movie. So, first up, question from Quaggle Gaggle. I couldn't pass to get 1, your thoughts on the humans in the film, and 2, whether Sonic needs them, both in general and as they are in the movies. More specifically, the films are going for a very Hollywood kids movie vibe, and while they help give it its own vibe, it still feels weird having Sonic be so soft. Sonic has certainly made it family several times, whether it's through the Freedom Fighters, or Jules and Bernadette once upon a time, or hanging on Chris's couch, but I can't help but feeling they're a big part in keeping us from getting the Sonic movie we'd kill for, especially with the stuff during the wedding that felt like it could have easily been cut, but then the humans would have less to do, but it's Sonic, not Rachel the Bridezilla. I'm guessing a lot of others will disagree with me. I know this may bump into Frontier stuff, so if you want to nudge solely toward the film, that's fine. I just can't help but feel there's a place where we get a film version of, say, Sonic Mania Adventures, and it still hits those markers studios are looking for. What do you think? Especially since I'm concerned how the Knuckles series and movie 3 will look because of this. Even love the chat's take on this.
Again, I feel like the humans were utilized well both times over.
For the most part, yeah.
And one thing that we as hardcore Sonic fans have to understand is Sonic is not necessarily for everybody or as well known to everybody. Like for some people, this will be the first time they understand who Knuckles is.
Yeah. Yep.
So, as much as, we rolled our eyes at the first movie going, why don't you just tell a Sonic story? You need to bring the general audience in. This has to be a movie that everyone can enjoy, not just the Sonic fans. And the first movie was enjoyable as a Sonic fan. Like Sonic, this is a very different interpretation of Sonic, but that's kind of fresh and new and fun.
Yeah, and it still feels like Sonic. I think in terms of like extensive human interactions, the movies probably have the best version of that.
Yeah, and part of that is because it was baked in from the beginning.
Right.
Like the idea of humans and Sonic interacting was not really presented well game-wise. Like Sonic Adventure came along, it's like, wait, there's people? Why are there people?
Yeah.
But why are there people?
Mm-hmm.
And then it was very exclusively people for a long time. And then it was no people. So had it done it the way the movies did, I think it would be very different. Like the whole two worlds thing, or multi-worlds, the movie presented, is acceptable because it was baked in. Whereas when it was active in the games, it wasn't introduced, it wasn't explained, it didn't really affect the plot. It felt, when it was revealed, it felt tacked on and confusing. And now it's moot because we're back to one world. Ha 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 ha. But I don't know. I feel like the humans, again, they served their purpose, which was to further the Sonic story.
Mm-hmm.
And that they didn't really detract or distract or diminish from it. And that, I feel, is good.
Yeah. They didn't overshadow. They didn't really overstay their welcome too much. It dragged a little bit during the wedding scene, but that's okay. They still built up stuff during that and it paid off to the overall plot of the film. It's not like it was just, they were just doing something completely random off to the side that had no relation to the overall film. So it eventually looped around. We had that sort of B plot thing going on with him, or C plot, I don't know. But we got that. We got it all coming together at the end. I like it.
I mean, I do want what Craggle Gaggle's talking about, that Sonic Mini Adventures movie, that's something that's pure distilled, the Sonic that we recognize.
Oh, yeah.
But that is going to be for Sonic fans. That's not going to be for general audiences. You might be able to get some folks outside of the inner circle to go, oh, that was neat, and come into it. But it's not going to have the same accessibility as what Paramount has done.
Right.
Which I think really is like the best approach. I think what they have done does the job well. And we are very, very deep into Sonic territory now.
Mm-hmm.
So I can only imagine that either movie 3 will go even deeper into Sonic territory, or will continue to walk that fine line of, here is the human world enough to keep the budget and special effects low.
Yeah, yeah.
And serve as the foundation for the Sonic stuff.
The first movie,
either way, it works out.
The first movie kind of eased people in, and now the second movie is expanding on it. It's like, okay, you got in from the first movie. Now let's get into some of the more the more obscure and weird things about the Sonic that you may not know about, you know? Yeah. I feel like a lot of superhero movies have kind of been building that way too. It's a similar thing of like
watch the first Iron Man.
Of like, yeah. Or even like go back even earlier and watch the X-Men movies. It's like, yeah, they're sitting there making fun of the bright colored leotard costumes, and then here we are 20 years later, and they're pretty much wearing comic accurate costumes on a movie screen now. It's like, it's like, all right.
You know, you've got the first Thor movie where he's saying magic and technology are really the same thing. It just depends on where you are. And then you have Doctor Strange knowing, no, here's freaking magic. Bippity-boppity-boo.
Yep.
So, you know, Sonic 1 is our Iron Man and Thor 1. And Sonic 2 is more of our, I don't know, Phase 2 MCU.
Maybe 3 will go full Ragnarok. I am ready for Sonic Ragnarok. Or Sonic No Way Home, yeah. Oh boy. Wow, that actually could be kind of interesting. Anyway. And we have another question here. This is time from Wolfsbane. Ian, so in the film, we see Knuckles' father speak to him in a flashback scene, much to the ire of a certain former writer. Now, some of your detractors have used this as another piece of quote-unquote evidence against you, saying you're a liar because the film depicts the parents/family of a main character. So, is this the case of the film and the comic getting two different sets of guidelines, or has something changed as of late and we could see parental/familial figures again?
Context, for the love of God. Okay.
The movies are separate from everything else.
Yeah, like, Sonic wasn't raised by an owl, in classic or modern. The Chaos Emeralds did not exist inside the Master Emerald.
Yeah.
Knuckles, as far as we know, didn't grow up with any of his fellow tribesmen.
Not even his father. Not even his father.
Let alone his father. Like, the movie has its own continuity. It has its own rules. And Paramount, being one of the most powerful film studios that still exists, has a little more bargaining power than some fat freelancer up in Canada.
Or even a comic book.
I don't have the power to say, you know what, Knuckles should have a dad. Like Paramount does, for pity's sake. Use some common freaking sense. I'm tired of using the kid gloves on these types of questions. No.
Yes. Free Ian. Allow Ian. Allow Ian to be rageful. Allow the rage. Let the rage flow through you. Embrace your anger.
I will say there is an upcoming IDW project that got greenlit in a way that I would never have gotten away with back in the Archie days.
Uh-oh.
So, and we've got the One World thing, and there's other stuff. So there is a bit of a shift.
Yeah,
which I'm looking forward to. But movie Sonic is a completely different beast than modern or classic Sonic.
Yeah. Also, Wolfsbane, I don't think Ian is necessarily talking to you. He's talking about the people
no.
He's talking about the people you're referring to. I'm making sure we're making that clear.
Yeah, no. I'm not shooting the messenger, Wolfsbane. That's not directed at you.
No. And this is pretty similar to a question I asked on the main show a few weeks ago too. So
it's more my increasingly diminishing patience with these bad faith arguments.
Oh yeah,
that are trying to find loopholes in something that's never had consistency. So, like, and part of that is my own fault, because being as clear and direct as possible exposes that. So, I am not the representative of this, but because I put myself out there, I kind of make myself out to be. So,
yeah,
that's a bit on me.
A little bit, but
own that. Might as well.
But it's still.
Now, if there is enough, it would be neat if the response to the movie was positive enough that we could get something comparable game-wise, but I ain't holding my breath for that. Midna, do you mind? Mid-sentence, really?
Need a grabber?
No. Let her pass one more time. You don't even touch it that time, do you? Get down. Don't edit that out. That's part of the show.
Plunk, plunk, plunk.
Sit, dear.
Kenny's on all the clothes, by the way.
Oh, of course he is.
That's where he hangs out. It's his favorite place.
Because I didn't immediately put them away.
Cats. Rude. Anyway. Well, we got one last question here. So let's go ahead and get through it, and then we'll call it a day. It's from Happy Times. The BumbleKast have a viewing party to see the new movie. Even Eggman will agree to a ceasefire for the sake of everyone seeing a movie starring him. How does it go? What's everyone's reactions to the movie and certain scenes?
Sonic, yet again, isn't going to be able to sit still through the whole thing. He's just going to zip in and out between scenes, grab some concessions, hit the bathroom, do a couple laps around the theater, come back. Still not miss anything, but he's going to be up and down. I thought this is going to be a trifle put out. Do I really talk like that? Is that how people really see me? Until he, puts Sonic through a wall and he's like, yeah, all right, I like this movie.
Yeah, the chase scene will be will get him hyped, I think.
Tails enjoys it up until the point where he gets sidelined, and then he's like, what happened to me? Where did I go? I'm in the movie still, right? And then he comes in on the biplane. He's like, oh, there I am.
Yeah.
Eggman's big into the whole thing. Like, look at how he's manipulating Knuckles. Ooh, this stone fella. Maybe I should search the multiverse for him. Yes, I have ultimate power. This is a fantastic film. Look at that Death Egg robot. Clearly they're inspired. No, why did I lose the power?
And then he
why
lost.
Am I losing now? I'm falling into fire. This movie's stupid. I'm leaving. Oh, he doesn't see the
ending. It ends the way he should have expected. Starlight hates Stone, I'm sure.
Oh, with a passion.
Like, he just absolutely yes.
What a sucker. What an absolute vapid sycophant. Honestly.
He's just jealous, is what it is.
No, I'm not. Not at all.
No, he's jealous.
Quiet, you.
He's jealous. He's probably jealous, but he feels, it's like he's looking up latte recipes in secret.
Amy's gracious about her complete lack of appearance.
Yeah.
She's kind of enamored with the very childlike version of Sonic that's so different from the one that she knows.
Mm-hmm.
Shadow doesn't go to see the movie.
Shadow doesn't go to see movies? What are you talking about?
Now, when Rouge finally tracks him down and says, you were in the movie. I beg your pardon. Yeah, you were the stinger at the end. I don't have a stinger. No, it's a movie term. It was the surprise reveal at the very end. It showed you in a capsule and such. Did I look cool? Yes, you looked very cool. All right, then.
Yeah. That sounds about right. What did Rouge think of it?
Oh, she thought it was fun. Kind of stupid, but she thought it was fun. She thought the representation of Gunn was spot on.
Yeah. Where is
What's
she?
that? A bunch of swagger with no actual ability to execute? Yeah, dead on.
Mm-hmm. And then she saw the Master Emerald and was like, star eyes, hard eyes. Give me.
It's smaller, but it's still got lots of fast it'll do, and it has more chimps inside it. Oh my goodness.
It's
and
weird.
now that we've got a movie official name for the commander,
yeah,
that's Commander Walters, but that's movie version. So I move that the game commander be named Oliver Garden.
No.
Yes.
Okay, fine.
Yes. Sexual feelings,
Okay, I guess. Oliver Garden. Make it happen. I guess you're the one who has the power.
I'm going to make that
sort
pitch
of
if I get the shot.
In a sense, you kind of have that power. Like, you have the chance to have that power, at least.
I will throw that paper airplane into that cubicle and hope somebody picks it up.
Yeah. Oh, this is going to get real weird when the games start referencing the movies. It's like, this is going to be a vicious cycle. We're stuck in a Mobius strip of references. No. No, not as much Olive Garden in the movie this time, though. They mentioned it once offhand, and that's it.
And that seemed like it was more meant to be a callback to the original joke and less of a product placement.
Yes.
I wonder if they had to buy the license just to make the reference.
Nah, probably not. They probably just said it. But, I mean, they didn't make an actual reference to it, so, other than just mentioning it.
Yeah.
So, there was, some product placement, though. I'm trying to remember what it was, but I definitely noticed a little bit of it. Luckily, not too bad, but...
One last thought here, kind of stemming from Wolfsbane's question.
Okay.
Now, in the first film, Robotnik goes on a bit of a tangent about how he was an orphan.
Yeah.
But now that we've introduced Shadow, he's very closely tied to Gerald Robotnik.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering how they're going to touch that in the third film. Are they just going to omit Gerald? Are they going to say that because it was a black site and presumably Gerald gets executed, that the Robotnik line kind of got scrubbed for a generation, and that's why Ivo doesn't know his heritage? It'll be interesting if they follow up on that.
Yeah. I think it would be an interesting way to expand the character. It's like a way to actually get his history, I think that might be a good thing, a good way to use it, which is kind of what they did with the games, but then it's never been revisited or anything, so.
And I feel like movie 3 will be a glorious opportunity to reintroduce Shadow with a much simpler storyline. Like, say Gerald... Now, this is not spoilers. This is just me theory crafting off the top of my head, not as a professional, but as a Sonic fan.
Mm-hmm.
Right? What if Gerald's running the gun... Well, I guess this predates gun. But this, government black site, and he's researching into the multiverse stuff.
Yeah.
And Shadow happens to fall through. And that's where he meets Maria. That's where the initial friendship forms.
Mm-hmm.
And then the government comes in to shut things down, as per usual. Maria dies, Shadow's locked away. If Shadow is comparable to what Sonic can do already in the movies, he's going to be pretty darn potent. If Gerald played mad scientist with him and gave him extra powers, the whole ultimate life form thing, that's going to be even more cuckoo bananas.
Mm-hmm.
And if we keep it that way, it's building off of what the movie has established. We don't need the Ark. We don't need the Black Arms. We don't need Emerald or the Artificial Chaos or any of that stuff. It's just, but you still have the core components of what Shadow's story is. And you can have all the angst. You can have the revenge-driven spree, but we don't necessarily need the Eclipse Cannon as the sword of Damocles in this scenario. Shadow can come up with some other doomsday attack.
They might have... what they might end up doing is combining the Space Colony arc and the Death Egg sort of in concept for the third movie.
This is assuming that we get Robotnik back for the third film.
Yeah. I don't know what the deal is there.
Like,
We'll
if you
find
don't have
out.
Robotnik back, there's no real reason to have a Death Egg.
Yeah, which is weird for a Sonic property.
And we managed to have a Knuckles movie with no Angel Island, and it worked just fine.
Yep.
We can have a Shadow
True.
movie without the arc.
It's true. It's true.
Like, if you had said that to me before Sonic 1 came out, I would have said you're crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But the movies have kind of helped me step back from the Sonic fan blinders and go, you know what? There are other ways to do it.
Oh, there are plenty of other ways.
And they'll probably do something completely different than what I was suggesting. But
Yeah,
I don't know. I can see it working.
something like that. Yeah. I agree. Is this what you wanted, Maria? Unlimited salad and breadsticks?
Portion control? I don't think so.
The ultimate pasta bowl.
Oh, man. So,
thank you, Dove.
That's going to wrap up our review of Sonic 2. Thank you, everyone, for waiting on us to finally see the bloody thing. If you haven't seen it, go see it. If you have seen it, maybe see it again. It was a fun movie.
Yep, definitely. It's fun. Yep. And that's it. That's all we got, I think.
Yep. We will see you next time for another special edition of the BumbleKast.
Yep.
Until then, be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and we'll see you then.
Bye. You've been listening to the BumbleKast, a co-production of Bumble King Comics and the KNGI Network. Original theme music composed by Ken Coda Snyder. Remixed intro by T-Lopes. Find out more information, along with podcast feeder links, MP3 downloads, and more at bumbleking.com and kngi.org. Not doing anything. You're like the busy guy.
I've actually gotten ahead on everything.
What?
I'm in a good place.
How? What? I'm sorry. What?
I know, right?
Yeah. Weird. Man, there's some exciting stuff going on in the Sonic community these days too.
Yeah.
Yeah.